Just today, Cheryl Miller hopped on the All the Smoke podcast, and she had so much to say about Caitlin Clark.
To watch the dynamics and the media, they had their narrative. And I was pleased and proud to see the narrative wasn't the truth.
Just 2 minutes ago, Caitlin Clark made waves by slamming ESPN for snubbing her in their top basketball rankings. But that's not all. WNBA legend Cheryl Miller is stepping in to defend her, and we've got the hilarious showdown between Caitlin Clark and Eli Manning that you won't want to miss. Stick around as we dive into all the drama, reactions, and game-changing moments you need to know. Today, we're talking about Caitlin Clark's shocking ranking snub by ESPN, Cheryl Miller's powerful defense, and an unforgettable moment from the Eli Manning show. We'll break it all down for you, from the fiery controversies to the lighter moments, so you don't miss out on any of the action. From heated debates to lighthearted challenges, we're covering everything in today's video. Let's jump right into it.
You recently coached the WNBA All-Star game. You spent some time with Caitlin Clark.
Best coaching job ever.
Best coaching job
Best
ever.
coaching job ever.
Being around Caitlin Clark, how was the experience for her? She's such a big star. I mean, the sky's the limit for her. To be around her, just talk about the type of person she is, how much she loves the game.
I'm going to be honest because it needs to be said. I can relate to that young lady, and I felt for her. I know what it's like to be hated. I know what it's like to be a black woman and hated because of my
skin.
color.
Yeah.
I can't imagine this young lady, now I don't want to use hate, but despised. And people just having, and she brought some on herself a little bit because she's cocky for a good reason.
Confident.
And I love that about her. But to watch the dynamics and the media, they had their narrative. And I was pleased and proud to see the narrative wasn't the truth.
Right.
Caitlin Clark has been the talk of the sports world lately, and not just because of her amazing skills on the court. Recently, ESPN stirred up a major controversy when they left her off their list of top 5 college basketball players of all time. The ranking, which many fans and analysts were shocked by, didn't include Clark, despite her groundbreaking achievements at Iowa. This snub has caused a major uproar in the basketball community, with fans and sports media alike questioning how someone who has revolutionized the game and consistently dominated at the collegiate level could be overlooked.
And Angel and her got along so well, and watching them practice and just get it. And Kate was like, just fly, and watching her pass. And I didn't know how talented she was and how well she sees the game in a 3D version. Thinker, defensively a lot better than I thought and gave her credit for. So watching her and just spending a little time. And one thing, guys, that I've learned is to step back and let these kids be themselves. Look, I speak what I'm spoken to. I'm not sitting up there knocking on anybody's door, offering my advice because I don't know. I don't know what it's like to be social media, Instagram this. I don't know what it's like to be bombarded and have to be the breadwinner in the family and be a brand and be worried about what I do or say and everything else, and 24/7 being pulled in so many different directions and not knowing. I mean, throw in the fact that if I'm insecure, if I got my own mental issues going on, who do I talk to? I don't regret being born when I was.
Caitlin Clark has broken records, carried her team, and even brought new attention to women's college basketball, yet ESPN, in their rankings, didn't place her among the best. Her stats alone are enough to make anyone reconsider: over 3,000 career points, leading her team to major wins, and being a finalist for the prestigious Naismith Player of the Year award. To many, this felt like an injustice, especially considering the impact she's had on and off the court. It was as if ESPN didn't fully recognize the weight of what Clark has done for the game, especially when compared to some of the players they ranked above her.
I'm in the right place at the right time. It's just been fascinating to watch these young ladies come up and now take the baton and take it to a different level.
She handled it in a graceful way as well. Some of your peers, they will recognize, her game, but they won't recognize her impact.
Right.
How can you separate the two? It's kind of hard, right?
I used and Jax, you're absolutely right. And I was like, come on, you big dummies. Is she getting hyped? Yes. But she was in the backyard. She was putting in the same time, sometimes maybe more than you were.
Right.
I can't fault her for what she was given, but look, as much as she was given, you can't tell me if that door would have swung the other way where she didn't live up to the hype.
Right.
Come on, folks are still waiting for her to fall.
Exactly.
Come on.
Yep.
So with that being said, you big dummies, you getting paid now.
Right.
Everybody now has an opportunity to pull up their chair and have a seat. So that's the only thing. And thank God I don't listen. I don't follow social media, and I could really care less because I've been delivered from being a people pleaser and what you think about me.
Right, me too.
But I will tell you one thing. I'm just glad that these young ladies who are at the upper tier players, I hope and pray that they have a solid foundation and they know guys who they are, because you know how vicious it is out there.
Caitlin Clark has beer it wasn't just a casual oversight. It sparked a serious conversation about how we evaluate players, the criteria used in rankings, and whether or not players like Caitlin Clark, who might not have won a national championship yet, are still worthy of being recognized as some of the greatest. Fans took to social media to express their frustration, and many were quick to point out the double standard that exists in how male and female athletes are treated when it comes to accolades and recognition. Many questioned whether Clark's ranking was a reflection of her gender, as men's basketball often gets more media attention and recognition compared to the women's game.
You see any correlation with Caitlin and Angel Reese, what they've done for the WNBA, as to what Magic and Bird did when they came in at the same time?
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, I'm sure that Larry and Irv used to laugh at, white against black.
Yeah. And they loved each other.
East Coast, West Coast, loved each other, and respected one another, and understood that this rivalry, this tension, whatever, it was for the betterment of the game, but they never got caught up into it.
Yeah.
And those two are the foundation of the great stories and narratives coming out of the NCAA now, flooding the dub, which helps the dub. So that's, my main thing. I want to see how we as women, because again, I know they're going to get mad at me for saying this, we can be petty, we can be short-sighted.
No.
In the wake of this, Caitlin Clark has stayed focused on what matters most to her, the game. But the backlash has been impossible to ignore. Whether or not ESPN made a mistake by excluding her is still up for debate, but it's clear that Caitlin Clark's impact on basketball is undeniable. The snub has only made her supporters rally behind her even more, while others continue to question the integrity of rankings that overlook players with her level of talent and contribution to the sport.
No. No. This is my first time hearing this.
We can, but I'm just hoping that we can embrace one another, whether you're playing for the dub or you're playing in Unrivaled.
Which I love. You wish you could have got some of that up.
Oh, in the one-on-one, I've been like,
I know you was over there watching that
come on, with the cross-eyed knee, Jerry. Come on, I got you here. I'm just messing with you. I got nothing but mad love for
Shout
you.
out Joe Lloyd.
Yeah, and that whole league, what they've done and their mindset and the business aspect and the savviness
Crazy
and
smart.
to get their, to build that infrastructure financially, that was the first thought. And when I saw that, they got this, this is about to roll up. So, and I just hope, again, backtracking, that we as women can understand and embrace we all have a seat at the table, and it's for the betterment of the sport.
Support.
As the controversy surrounding Caitlin Clark's ESPN snub unfolded, another voice echoed loudly in her defense, WNBA legend Cheryl Miller. Miller, known for her fierce competitiveness and advocacy for women in sports, didn't hold back when it came to addressing the criticism directed at Clark. In an impassioned response, Miller slammed those who tried to diminish Clark's accomplishments, particularly those who questioned her place in the conversation because of her race.
I've seen you sidelines at several SC games, female SC games that I've pulled up to. Juju has been blazing her trail at SC and slowly but surely knocking on some doors that you put up. What are your thoughts on her game and just the way she's kind of been able to put SC basketball, women's basketball, back to the forefront?
First and foremost, a tremendous talent. And for someone who's been skyrocketed into the spotlight, it's not just the spotlight. She's playing at USC, and you've got the McGee twins, Cynthia Cooper, myself, Lisa Leslie, Tina Thompson. I mean, they're all Hall of Famers.
I was about to say Hall of Famers, yeah.
And now you're expected to not just achieve and arrive, but you got to elevate it. You got to make your next mark. And to watch this young lady come in as a freshman and poised, just even killed. I wanted to see when things got tough, when she got the wood laid on her and she was laying on her back, and who was helping her up, or was she getting herself up? Because I knew she was going to catch people by surprise. Nobody knew. But that middle, and certainly the latter part of that season, double, triple team, game plan, schemes, everything. How was she going to make the adjustments? So I was pleased to see that. And I'm always amazed at how solid she is as a human being. Certainly a lot of that is her foundation, family foundation. But there's something very grounded and rooted in her. I'm not quite sure where that comes from. If I was to give her any advice, and I have shared this with her, just make sure she maintains and finds that quiet place here and here where her family, loved ones, boyfriend, girlfriend, cat, squirrel, dog, whatever, she has her quiet place where she can just be Juju and no basketball, no nothing, and find something that she feels good about doing that's outside of the sport.
It's important.
Miller made it clear. This wasn't just about basketball. It was about respect. She called out the big dummies who criticized Clark, reminding everyone that race should never be a factor in evaluating an athlete's talent or legacy. The WNBA icon pointed out that Clark has done things on the court that very few have ever done, racking up insane scoring numbers, leading her team, and setting records that will be hard to break. Yet, some critics tried to discredit her simply because of who she is, which is exactly why Cheryl Miller felt compelled to step in and speak out.
What are your thoughts on women having to wait 4 years to make that jump? Is that an outdated rule? Do you think it suits the game? Because she has to wait.
It's a God bless that rule is there. Yes, it needs to stay there until, the Dove finally financially can. Why? If you are a top 5.
You're making more money.
In college.
In college.
Yeah.
No, I would really love to now that's when you'd see me step out and slap somebody. I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? What are you thinking?
That's actually going backwards for them.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. You hurting your brand early to go,
Yeah.
wait. Make this is your foundation. This is where your money is. For right now.
Yeah.
Right now. It's kind of backwards where for you guys the regular season was where you made your money, but the playoffs is where you made your fame.
Yep.
So right now, the NCAA is where you make your money.
Yeah, exactly.
The Dove is where you make your fame. That's your legacy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Miller's comments were a powerful reminder that there's still a long way to go in the fight for equality in sports, especially for women and people of color. The WNBA legend's defense of Clark wasn't just about standing up for a fellow athlete. It was about fighting for the respect that every athlete, regardless of gender or race, deserves. In a world where women's sports often get overlooked, Cheryl Miller's words struck a chord with fans, and they amplified the conversation around Caitlin Clark, pushing back against the negative narratives and showing that Clark's brilliance cannot be ignored. Miller's defense became a rallying cry, not only for Clark, but for the entire movement towards equality in sports. Her message was clear. Clark's talent speaks for itself, and no one can take that away.
Go. Come on. And they're off. Oh boy. Cece's already up 3-0. She's on fire.
Come on.
Eli's heating up. He's warming up.
Go, ball.
All right, he's in a groove. 38-30. Eli's up.
What?
Come on, you need a three-pointer. You got to step back.
I've never won a game against a guest before.
I told you I'm bad at power
Eli's
shots.
bringing it. He's bringing it. Eli's on fire right now. And time. Oh,
High score? Is that set the high score?
I think it's
I
set a
got
new record.
51.
Yep, it's blinking. High score, 76-51 for the viewer.
Wow. Give it up for Eli.
Caitlin Clark isn't just making headlines for her on-court performances. She's also been part of some lighter, fun moments, too. Recently, Clark appeared on the Eli Manning show, where the legendary quarterback challenged her to a Pop-A-Shot basketball competition. The showdown was lighthearted, filled with laughs, and gave fans a glimpse into Caitlin's personality off the court. What made this moment even more entertaining was how competitive Clark was, despite it being a casual game. The challenge, however, didn't end with Clark taking the win. Eli Manning, known for his athleticism off the football field, managed to edge her out with a score of 76-51, much to the surprise of viewers. Though Caitlin Clark lost the challenge, her competitive spirit and quick-witted banter with Manning made it a memorable segment that had fans laughing and enjoying the lighter side of the game. Beyond the fun of the Pop-A-Shot challenge, the segment also gave Clark a chance to reflect on her journey and her future. She discussed her transition from college basketball to the professional league, where she is expected to make a major impact in the WNBA. It wasn't just a competition. It was an opportunity for Caitlin to showcase her charisma and how grounded she remains, even as her name continues to rise in the world of basketball. That appearance, while playful, was also a reminder of how much Clark has already accomplished at such a young age, and how she's ready for the next challenge in her career. The game with Eli Manning might have been all in good fun, But it was also a reminder that Caitlin Clark's competitive edge and personality are just as impactful as her skills on the court. Fans couldn't help but be even more excited to see what she will bring to the WNBA in the near future. What an incredible ride! From Caitlin Clark's shocking ESPN ranking snub to Cheryl Miller stepping up to defend her, and of course the unforgettable Papa Shot challenge with Eli Manning, there's been no shortage of drama and excitement surrounding this rising star. It's clear that Caitlin Clark is making waves not only in the basketball world, but also in the hearts of fans everywhere. Now we want to hear from you. What do you think about Caitlin Clark's ESPN ranking? Was she snubbed, or is there more to the story? And how do you feel about Cheryl Miller's defense of her? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more updates on Caitlin Clark, the WNBA, and everything else happening in the world of sports. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.